Today I want to talk to you about setting up a Raspberry Pi from scratch. You're going to need a few things to do this, and I'll go over those to start with. First of all, you're going to need a Raspberry Pi board and a Raspberry Pi case. You're also going to need a USB hub if you have yours set up in the same way that I do. In addition, to set up the microSD card, you'll need an adapter for your computer. This is a USB to microSD adapter, since I don't have a SD port on my computer. You're also going to need a SD card adapter for the microSD that you're going to be using. The higher class of microSD that you can get, the better. Class 8s are really good. I believe it goes up to class 10 or 12. They're a little spendy. You might also want to consider getting a higher volume for your microSD. I have a 4 gigabyte that I'm working with today, but you can get microSDs up to 64 gigabytes that I've seen in a regular store. You'll also probably want a wireless USB adapter. This is an adapter for the mouse that I have. You're going to need a mouse and a keyboard. You're going to need a micro USB cable, a micro USB charger, I should say. You'll also need either an HDMI cable or a yellow composite video cable and a 3.5 millimeter audio jack for plugging into your television / monitor / audio system. To begin setting up your Raspberry Pi, you first need to insert the micro SD card into the SD card or USB adapter and plug it into your computer. You're then going to go ahead and open the Launchpad, go to Other, and go to Disk Utility. Next, you're going to select your micro SD card device in the disk utility. Make sure not to select your disk drive for your computer. You don't want to format that. You're going to go to the Erase tab. You're going to make sure that MS-DOS FAT is the format selected, and you'll rename your micro SD card. I'm going to name mine Raspi. You're then going to go ahead and click Erase. When this process is completed, we will start installing the OS on the microSD. To start with, you're going to want to navigate to raspbian.org /Raspbian installer in your web browser. You're going to go ahead and click the RPI installer zip file link to begin downloading it. Once you have finished downloading it, as I have, you can go into your Finder on your Mac and go into Downloads and double-click the file. Then you're going to want to open up the folder that is created, and you're going to select all of the files by clicking and dragging on them. Now you can simply drag them and drop them into your Raspberry Pi microSD. Now it's time to set up your Raspberry Pi so it can be booted for the first time. To start with, you're going to need your motherboard pre-installed in the case. Follow the instructions by your manufacturer or reseller. In addition, if you set it up in the way that I recommend, you're also going to need a USB hub. I've taped mine to the top, but beware of airflow. Now I'm going to go ahead and install the wireless USB adapter so that I can connect it to my home network wirelessly. I'll need to install the USB keyboard and USB mouse. Here's the adapter for the mouse, so I'm going to go ahead and install it. I'm going to go ahead and install the SD card adapter for my microSD. That's going to serve as both the location of the operating system and the storage for any files or applications you set up. Now you're also going to need to plug in either an HDMI which can carry an audio and a visual signal, or you're going to need to plug in a yellow composite cable and a 3.5 millimeter audio jack from this device into your TV, your audio system, or your monitor. Lastly, you're going to need to plug it into a power outlet with the micro USB power adapter that you can get for the Raspberry Pi. With all of those things done, all of those cables plugged into your audio-visual equipment, you will be able to restart your Raspberry Pi. Thank you for watching my video on setting up the Raspberry Pi from scratch. I will soon post a video on the software setup of Raspberry Pi. You can also view written information on setting up the Raspberry Pi on my blog, trialsandtribstech.blogspot.com.